everyone, and Merry Christmas. I know this video is running late, but what are you going to do? I've got a 3-day weekend, and with everything I had doing, fixing my Christmas dinner and watching a couple Christmas movies, chatting with some of my friends and coworkers, visiting with my brother, and I actually just got off the phone not 5 minutes ago with my mom, and everything. I'm just like, you know what? I completely forgot to make my video. So unfortunately, it's going to be the day after Christmas when you all get to see this. But, you're probably all busy with, your friends and family and loved ones and Christmas itself to want to be able to sit around a computer and stare at this face. So, anyways, this is going to be my Christmas video for all of you. And just in case you were wondering what movies I watched, I'll show you. I basically have a handful of movies that I watch every Christmas. I always start out with this one, Scrooge with Albert Finney. In my opinion, this is one of the best Christmas movies ever. As far as it comes to the Christmas Carol storyline, I've seen 4 or 5 different versions. This is the best by far, in my opinion. If you haven't seen it, you should really check it out. It is a great movie. Also, one of the old-time classic, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Another movie that I always love watching every year. And also, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Can't go wrong there. And I'm guessing I don't have either. I didn't grab it. It's still on my shelf. I was going to say, where's Frosty at? Yep, Frosty the Snowman is another one that I watch, and he's still on the shelf. For some reason, I thought I had them all in a little group, but I have a lot more than I thought, and I forgot to grab it. But anyways, and even though a lot of you are going to tell me this is a Halloween movie, not a Christmas movie, but I argue that it is both a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie combined, A Nightmare Before Christmas. So, I don't care what you're going to say, it's a Christmas movie, and it's a Halloween movie. And another one of my favorites, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So, anyways, those are the movies that I've been watching. Well, actually, I'm only about halfway through that stack. I'll be watching the others tomorrow, because I still have 2 more days before I have to go to work. So, anyways, what do you say we get on with this video, and I'll try not to knock this not too subtle hat off my head. I don't feel like talking about work at all this time because I pretty much dealt with that last year. Let's try. It feels that, like that, as busy as it's been at my job. Last week I meant. Too crazy. But anyways, I digress. I just wanted to share some little memories growing up, different Christmases I've had. I don't have a whole lot of them, and until I'm able to move to England, I'm not going to be basically making any new ones. So I decided I want to just share some of my old happy Christmas memories with you while you're out there making some new ones. And my hat's trying to come off. But I remember when I was a kid growing up, we most likely went to my grandparents' house for Christmas. I think maybe a couple of times we might have went to my Aunt Marie's, but usually that was like Thanksgiving is when we went over there. And my grandmother always had the big Christmas tree downstairs. There wasn't really any room upstairs for a tree, so that was usually kept downstairs. And those were the days where you didn't go to the store and bought an artificial tree, and you didn't even go to a Christmas tree lot, I guess you could say, or just one of those parking lots where they had like a fenced in area. No, this is where you went with one or two other people. For us, it was usually like my mom, my brother, and I, and one of my uncles. Got in his pickup, and we went to Unity, Oregon, up to a Christmas tree farm. Found the trees that we wanted. He'd find his for his house, and we'd find one for us. And we'd take a saw and we'd cut the tree down and put the tag on it after we tossed it in the back of the pickup and took it home. And I mean, so those were the days where you really got to enjoy the experience. Like I said, you weren't just picking some just some funky looking artificial tree. I mean, there are some really great looking artificial trees out there, but there are some that even ones that I've owned in the past, that after you've opened it completely up and put it on a stand, it just looks like, a closed umbrella. This hat doesn't want to stay. But yeah, those are the days where you had the boxes of tinsel. I don't even know, do they even sell tinsel anymore? I see they call it tinsel garland, but I think they just kind of combine the two words, because garland has always looked that way. I mean, granted, they've got stuff that looks more like, more like the pine needle limbs, off of a Christmas tree, and they put like berries and other junk in it. But back when I was young, garland was garland. It came in like two different colors. You either had silver garland or you had gold. And tinsel was always silver, just the little strings. You could just like wee, 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 threw them on the trees that way. Sometimes in clumps, sometimes just one little string after another. And then, of course, how many of you remember taking, just getting one little piece of tinsel and putting it one end just inside your lip so it would stay, and then just going, and that little piece of garland would just stick out and just flutter like that, and you pretended you were a snake. Yeah, sometimes it's just the little things that entertained us the most. But anyways, I used to remember the big tree, out of my grandparents' basement, and they'd have the fireplace going. And she always had the old display. I'm sure a lot of you people remember it. It had the candle in the center, and it had some small little pine cones, and looked like little pieces off of the Christmas tree, and a piece is probably about that big. And then it had what we called back then angel hair. And no, I'm not talking about pasta. It was basically, it was spun glass is what it was. Some people said it's, that nowadays that it's fiberglass. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I've never seen loose, fiberglass. All I know is this stuff was called angel hair, and if you took it and put it between your hands and did this, your hands would be all scratched to hell. Because, they said it was actual glass. But it was always a beautiful decoration that my grandmother had. And that was just one thing I always remember, because it was always just a beautiful piece, and I always loved messing with it. I guess you're just going to have to excuse me while I keep adjusting this thing, as it keeps wanting to come off my head several times during this video. But it's got polyfill inside to keep it open, otherwise it would be all crushed or fall onto one side to another, so I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. Might have to find some way to put a chin strap on it to keep it in place. But another time I remember, we used to, when I was really young, I don't know how young I was, probably about 7 or so, we used to sit in a big circle on the floor in my grandparents' basement. And usually it'd be my grandparents and my mom, my brother and I, probably one or both of my uncles and my aunts and some of my cousins. We'd all sit in this big circle and we'd all have our presents in front of us. And we'd each take a turn. We'd go around the circle and we'd each open one present and show everybody. And then, and thank who it was from. Unless it was from Santa, then it's thank you, Santa. And then, the next person would open a gift and we'd just go around and around and around until everybody was done. Well, I remember that actually this took place over 3 or 4 Christmases. At one point, somebody gifted somebody a fruitcake. And it was one of those small bricks or loaves. I don't know what you want to call them, but you know which ones I'm talking about. They're about this big, Somebody gifted somebody that. And they didn't want it, so for who knows what reason, they kept it for the entire year and just re-gifted it. I don't even remember if they bothered rewrapping it or not. But they gifted it to somebody else. Oh, they had to. They had to have rewrapped it because somebody opened it up to be able to show what they got. So never mind. But yeah, somebody else got that the next year, and that person decided to re-gift it the next year. And I remember thinking, it was probably after about the 3rd year when somebody else got it that I was thinking to myself that this fruitcake is going to end up becoming like a family heirloom. And I told myself that if I ever got it as a gift, I was going to take it out of circulation. So sure enough, probably around the 4th year, or 4th Christmas, since that thing came into existence, I got it as a gift. And so this fruitcake is probably 4, 5 years old. Don't ask me what the expiration date on it was. I was too young to even think about that. I don't know. All I remember is I ate the thing. I didn't sit there and just, gnaw on it like a carrot while everyone was opening that stuff up. I think I waited until I got home and just, ate on it for a couple of days until it was gone. I was reminding my mom about that when I was talking to her on the phone. She goes, "You ate it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I ate it." But she remembered the fruitcake, but she doesn't remember me eating it. I'm like, "Yeah, I ate it." I was probably one of the only people in my family that likes fruitcake, and still do. I'll usually buy, just one a year, one of those little loaves that are like, I don't know, $3 or $4 to $5. I don't remember how much they are, but I'll buy like one of those a year. I try, maybe sometimes if there's some left when everything goes half price, if they have one of the big cakes, that look like a small bundt cake, fruit cake one that are usually like $5 when they're marked down, I'll buy one of those just because it's got all the canned fruit on it. I mean, it usually has a lot more than the little loaves, so I usually will buy one of those. Not this year, though. I'm already doing enough damage to my keto diet. This, with this that I'm going to be eating on probably tomorrow and the next day. But it's these holidays, so I think it'll be all right. Plus, I'll lose it afterwards. Just luckily, I only gained 3 pounds during Thanksgiving, so I'm thinking I'm only probably going to gain 3 to 5 pounds for Christmas. But we'll see when the time comes. Adjust the hat. The back of this chair isn't helping matters much. Anyways, and I'm also remembering one year. I don't even remember who got them for us. It was either. Actually, I don't remember. It could have been my mom that got them for my brother and I. Could have been one of my uncles. Could have been my grandparents. I don't remember. But my brother got a remote control police car. and it was the one that had the controller that had the trigger and the little steering wheel, and his had a little flashing light bar and had a little siren and everything, and I got this black van. I don't even remember. I want to say it was called a Baja Scrambler or something along that line. Anyways, it was a black van, and for its remote control, it had a clicker. I don't really remember exactly what it looked like, but it was just a black clicker. If you know what I'm talking about, you push it and it goes click click. Well, it doesn't make it sound like that, but I can't exactly make that sound. But click 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 click. That's all it did. Um, the actual clickers, sometimes people would call them crickets, but I'm sure there's people out there that know what I'm talking about. But anyways, you'd start it going and you'd click it and it would turn to the left. You'd click it again, it would go straight. You'd click it again, it would go to the right. Click it again, it would go straight. So you had a hard time controlling this thing. Anyways, my brothers decided to play, cops and robbers with our remote control cars. Guess who was who? Yeah. He got to play the cops, I got to play the robbers. So he's chasing me around the living room floor, upstairs, my grandparents' house. And somehow you know, you can't exactly turn that thing on a dime. You just have to click it and try to, as basically as quick as you can to get it to turn the way you want it to. Well, get close to where the stairs are, the banister, and I make a turn, and my van gets two wheels off the edge of the banister at the top of the stairs. Why my brother didn't stop, I don't know. But he just T-bones my van and sends it tumbling down the stairs. This is like 20 minutes after we got these things out of the box. And I'm not exaggerating. 20, 30 minutes tops. And my van is tumbling down the stairs. I pick it up and those wheels are going zzz. That's all it would do. The antenna broke at the base. Could not do anything with it. Was just a plastic antenna. So I don't know how that works. It must have broke something internally, because I tried, when I got home, I tried gluing that antenna back to where it was, and it didn't make any difference. The clicker now was completely useless, because you turn it on, you pick it up, and then wheels are going zzz. So if you wanted to get the van to go straight, you would turn it on and you would time it to where the wheels went straight, and then you would set it down, and you basically had to follow it, because if you wanted, if you were going down, say, down the hall, and you wanted to go turn into this room, you either had to just grab it while it was still on the floor and turn it, or pick it up and turn it this way and then wait for the wheels to go straight and set it back down. I think I only played with that thing maybe a couple of times. Whoops! I just hit the tripod with my foot. But anyways, I only played with it like maybe once or twice after that. My brother did not let me play with his police car, because he was afraid I was going to break it, and I think he was right. I think I was wanting to drive it off that banister, or right underneath the banister, sending it down the stairs. I don't even know if he remembers that. He probably does, because I bring it up every once in a while. Getting a little thirsty, so hey, eggnog. Could never go a single Christmas without some eggnog. Most people don't like it, but I'm one of those people that really do. Unfortunately, it's not keto. But like I said, I'm blowing that completely out of the water with all the food that I fixed this year. But that's okay. But usually, Christmas for us was, like I said, going to either my grandparents' house or one of my uncles. It was always a big family deal. You know, ham, turkey, stuffing. Not cornbread stuffing either. Bread stuffing. I've had this cornbread stuffing a few times, and I don't know what the big draw is. I mean, I am a bread stuffing kind of person. Just like, even if it's just like stovetop stuffing, that I can practically eat my body weight in. Of course, we'd have black olives and cranberry sauce. My mom would fix her fruit salad, the fruit salad that I made in a video quite a while back for some holiday. I don't even remember which holiday it was for that I made it for, but she would make that. We'd have, apple pies and pumpkin pies, ugh, and mashed potatoes and gravy and, dill pickles and sweet pickles and deviled eggs and all that kind of stuff. All the trimmings, all the goodies. Just, big family get together, you know, and I remember one year we did have it at my Uncle Bruce's, Uncle Bruce and Aunt Linda, because I remember I was a pretty young kid. I was probably, I don't know, I might have been around 7, might have been 6, might have been 8. I don't remember who it was that made them, but they would either make bourbon balls or brandy balls, and they didn't use the flavoring, they used the actual alcohol. And me, me being a kid and getting a hold of some of those, let me let me tell you, when you're a little kid, it only takes like maybe a couple of those before you're feeling all nice and warm on the inside. And I haven't had those since I was a little kid. So I don't know which ones I had, whether it was bourbon or brandy. All I remember is that after 2 of them, I was all nice and warm and toasty on the inside, and they were a little strong, but they were really good. And I think for some reason I can't remember if they just moved them so I couldn't get any of them, or I I didn't really get in trouble back in those days. If you had gotten into the alcohol a little bit, they would just kind of scold you a little bit, but they didn't make a big production out of it. So it's not like I got myself plastered at 7 years old and was crashed out in a corner or something. No, it was just like a couple of those things and felt all warm and toasty, and that was the end of it. But yeah, I don't have living out here in Oklahoma away from my family. I don't have the opportunity to make those memories anymore. So the past few years, past 3 years, it's just been myself here fixing, my Christmas dinner, watching my Christmas movies, which, I'm fine with. But I hope, all of you out there, I hope you're with friends and family and loved ones, and I hope you're making great memories. I hope you're having lots of fun and getting lots of presents and just enjoying life, enjoying the Christmas season, and hopefully you'll have safe trips to and from your destinations. Don't want anybody to get hurt out there. But I know, this is one of my atypical videos. I'm not ranting, I'm not making a complete idiot out of myself, but I just wanted to share a handful of memories that I can remember from when I was younger. Back in the, I guess you could say, the simpler days, the simpler times, not when dinosaurs roamed the earth or anything like that. It was a little bit after that. But like I said, I just wanted to share a handful of memories that I enjoy, that I like to look back on, and makes me smile, sometimes makes me laugh, depending on what kind of a mood I'm in. But with that in mind, everyone, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this video to an end. And like I said, it's really late in the day. It is almost 2:30. So it's already like half an hour past my normal bedtime, but I still have to edit this video, so I'll get it edited and I'll get it saving it to my computer, and then I'll go ahead and go to bed, and I'll upload it to YouTube when I get up around midnight, 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it's just one of those things. So unfortunately, y'all will have to wait until tomorrow to see this video. But like I said, you're probably all busy, and you're not even gonna notice that there wasn't one posted today. But anyways, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you had a good time. Hopefully you made lots of new wonderful memories with your friends, family, loved ones. Memories to share for years and years to come. So thank you all for joining me and tolerating this thing constantly moving around and trying to escape. Which I guess if I was stuffed onto my own head, I would probably try to escape too. But I will be here again next week, probably next Tuesday, but who knows when I will get the video posted. It will either be on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'm going to try to get this stuff nailed down to where I can have it positively on a set day. But with this new software, the longer these videos are, the much longer it takes for it to do its editing and whatever else it does. So anyways, thank you all for being here, and I hope you will join me next week for another video. It won't be as boring as these run-of-the-mill videos are. We'll probably either have a rant, possibly an unboxing, I don't know. We'll have to see if I have something in the mail or not. But I'll have a video for you next week, one way or the other. So thank you all again for being here. I hope you have a great Christmas. Hope you eat yourself silly until you can just all pass out on the couch from the tryptophan from the turkey and whatnot. So thank you again. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. So take care, be safe, and Merry Christmas.